Hello, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. And in today's video, I will be discussing DeepEntryAI and going over how to deploy your very own deep entry agent so that you can start auto trading Clanker launches with an AI agent. So I'm gonna try to keep this video short, but there's quite a few things to talk about. But we've had a few requests in the community to make a video detailing how to exactly deploy this agent. So for those of you who are not aware, DeepEntryAI is a new auto trading agent that we launched, and it is a agent that trades Clanker tokens on base chain and Uniswap v4. And the idea is it is open source. It's run underneath by Obelisk core. So it's built by the Obelisk platform. It is open source as a JSON file because the agent itself is just a workflow JSON file. And finally, we have a dashboard. You guys can enter it through this button here, open dashboard, where you can deploy your very own agents. And we'll go over these fields and what they all mean and how everything ties together. So let's get right to it. To get your own agent to deploy, first you need to connect your wallet. And you don't need any Ethereum on the actual connected wallet. This is just for verification. Once you hit deploy, um, there's a couple of different fields here. The first one is a swap private key. This is your private key that you want to fill with base ETH, with native base ETH. You want to fill it up with $20 worth of ETH, 0.01, 0.05. So we filled it with $100, but any amount you really want. But you need enough to pay for gas fees, a couple cents here and there. So a couple dollars, 10, 20, $30 is a good amount. So once you have the private key, you just put it right here. The Telegram chat ID is the group where you want your Telegram bot to send you notifications about buys and sells because it's connected to a Telegram notification system where it will notify a Telegram group whether it's doing a buy or sell. So what you need to do is create a bot by talking with bot father on Telegram. Create a new bot. He will give you a Telegram bot token, which will look like a couple of numbers with a colon and then some letters, maybe a dash. So just put this whole bot token in here, and your bot will have a tag and a name. So you want to create a group with this bot, add Rose bot, and use that to get your Telegram chat ID, which is going to be a negative number or a positive number. It might be a positive number if it's a DM, but if it's a group or I think it's of a channel, it's positive. So whatever number it is, negative or positive, you just enter it right here. So that's kind of it, and you can hit deploy at that point. But I'd recommend here to make some more adjustments. If you go to advanced, this is the actual system prompt that gets passed to the agent. There's a couple of adjustments you can make, and specifically if you want to adjust the amount it buys or tries to buy, you need to adjust these values right here. So use ETH only, and here it gives us some examples of how much amounts to use. So if you want to do something less, for example, some smaller amount, you would do like 0.000, add an extra zero here, and here the range would be like this, and maybe something like this where it's to $1, up to $1. Or you can just reduce the range here. So everything would be a lot smaller, and you can say here, use ETH towards like this. Stronger signal, use more ETH towards max range. So in this case, you can easily just modify the actual buy amounts it will do. If you want to do it less, or even if you want to do it more, you can also modify some other things as well here. For example, you can modify the criteria for purchase, deciding to buy a token. Right now, it looks at price change. That needs to be positive. 1 minute and 5 minute positive price change, and 1 minute and 5 minute volume above 0.3 ETH. You can adjust this. You can say, no, I want more volume. I want it to be 3 ETH. So there's a couple of things you can adjust here. Now, if you want even more control, this is just a very simple, and if you guys want to just get started with this and kind of get a feel for it, I highly recommend not to worry too much about the strategy, maybe reducing the amounts if you don't want to trade too much, and just hit deploy. And then you will kind of see, you'll start getting some trades here. It's not perfect. We're still working on perfect tracking with the P&L and everything, but you will start seeing trades, and you can check the blockchain on chain for your wallet. It will start buying and selling tokens, and you can kind of get a feel for it. Now, if you want more control, everything it comes from this. This is the actual workflow underneath the agent. We went over this in a previous YouTube video. Should be on the screen now if I remember to add it. And this is the actual full workflow if you want even finer tuning of the agent. So in the advanced section of the deploy tab, you are modifying this part pretty much, this prompt. But there's a couple of other options that are nice to modify. Specifically, we're going to let you modify this scheduler here. Right now, it's actually set to 10 seconds. But a good amount here is to set it to 1,000 seconds. So before it was set to 10. But if you would like to, a better option here is to check new launches, for example, not every 10 seconds, but every 10,000 seconds, maybe every couple of minutes instead, because that will mean that it will try to buy less tokens, but it will maybe be more selective about which tokens it buys, and you could maybe increase the amount it buys each time. So something like this would be a little bit more finer control over your agent, and you can do this. We are going to add more options in this deploy tab, especially in the advanced, so you can modify this. But for now, if you want to just try and get it running, you can't still technically deploy this on the build.the Obelisk platform, and it will still deploy the same way. Now, if you see here on our agents, all the deep entry agents are hosted on the Obelisk platform right now. And you can see we have a couple of them running. We have Deuce, Flex AI, we have Clanker agent, we have a couple of Clanker auto trading agents. All of these are deep AI agents. And you can see the uptime. Right now, we only have 10 slots available, but we're going to expand it to more slots because of the way we designed these agents. We could actually host a lot more than 10 on a single cheap VPS. So this is a little bit more about the actual agents themselves. If you want to give it a try, we highly recommend you guys just set up a simple agent here, deploy with the default parameters. Just get the Telegram setup done correctly. You don't have to get this done. If you don't fill this out, it will just not send Telegram notifications. You should still be able to see the trades right here in the trade uh, history, and you can still just track it on chain. So just give it a try, check it out, guys. And we're super excited to share this. Again, all the code is open source here on the Obelisk core. We've been working a lot on this. Let's look at, we have close to 1,000 commits here. We're gonna hit 1,000 commits soon. But right, we're cooking. We're just doing some more updates here with the stats and making sure everything lines up correctly. And this essentially deep entry project is a way to get more normies. I'm sorry for my use of word, not normies, but more people who just don't want to really deal too much with all these. This seems very complex to a lot of people, and when they see something like this, and they don't know what's going on. They don't really want to hit deploy and do all this. Because uh, they just don't really want to deal with it. So this is a nice entry level layer to just try to get set up with auto trading, see how it works, kind of get a feel for it. And maybe if you want to take a deeper look into it, go to build.theobelix.ai and try to define the modifications here. But we are going to, as I said before, add more options to this platform. And also V2 and V3 are coming right up. A little bit overview for V2 and V3 agents. We have some cool stuff planned. We have something like extra data. So we're just only pulling on-chain data. V2 agents, for example, will pull maybe from some socials data or maybe Farcaster, some sort of extra wallet. Maybe it'll have some wallet watching. We'll watch some wallets. So we'll definitely try to add a little bit more features to this agent. But for now, we have a very basic agent V1 that if you set the right strategy, it should be doing quite well. Thank you guys all for checking out this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace!